Aadhar Housing is in focus. Rishi Anand, MD and CEO of Aadhar Housing, now joins us to talk more about numbers. Rishi, afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. Good set of numbers this time round. But before I talk to you about numbers, there is a lot of news flow around the NBFC space, and then of course, be it affordable housing NBFCs like yours, there are a lot of tailwind and circulars coming in. There are risk management measures also every now and then from the RBI side towards certain sections of NBFCs. So purely I want to talk to you as an industry leader, not representing just your company. The latest directive which comes for housing finance companies to have more liquid assets. What are your thoughts on the last evening circular?
Okay, great. So first thing first, Ajay ji, very good afternoon. Thank you for having me back again. But yes, I think first you spoke about good numbers. Let me just take a second there. Yes, we've posted very good numbers for the quarter. On a YOY basis, AUM has grown about 21-22%. Our net profit has grown about 37%. Disbursements are very healthy. NPAs are 15 bips lower than on a YOY basis to about 1.3%. So overall set of numbers, very comfortable. I think team is doing a good job. Now, you refer to two or three things. One is, the circulars that have surfaced yesterday. Then we had the PMAY in the last week. So there is a lot of traction happening across the segment. Let me first come to the circulars that have come yesterday. I think overall basis, these circulars are beneficial. If you were to dig deep into first, Pehla circular came on the risk weightage, a reduction of risk weightage, which definitely works in favor of the housing finance companies. See, in the earlier times, till about the circular, what was happening was the risk weightage that was to be assigned to an undisbursed portfolio. For example, मैं आपको example दूं, if I am sanctioning a loan of 10 lakh rupees to a consumer and he's taking a self-construction loan or a under construction property, and he has taken part disbursement. So the balance part disbursement, the risk weightage was applied to about 100%, which has now reduced to 35% if the loan to value ratio is below 80%, and about 50% if the loan to value ratio is above 80%. This is completely in the benefit of the housing finance companies with the risk weightages coming down. So I think the market read it yesterday evening. There were a lot of WhatsApp groups, etc., which were reading it wrong. But when you kind of dig deep and you see the financial outcome of the circular, it is going to be beneficial for the companies. The second circular that came yesterday, Ajay, was on companies or the housing finance companies or the NBFCs taking fixed deposits. Since we are not a fixed deposit taking company, while we have a fixed deposit portfolio close to about 2 crore outstanding, because in the earlier days, we were a fixed deposit taking company, and post Blackstone takeover, we were asked not to take any fixed deposits. So whatever deposits are there are maturing over a period of time. So we are not a fixed deposit taking company. Hence, these things don't affect us. But overall, I think, the challenge is that, whatever circulars are coming over the last, I would say, couple of months are more focused on fair practice code, on lending to the consumer. Every circular is focused at the end consumer, which is, I think it is the right step by RBI. Certain measures were to be taken, whether it was on the NBFC side or the HFC side. But the big announcement that came, Ajay, was on PMAY, which was a long-awaited announcement. While the contours have changed a little, final contours are still awaited. But I think it is a beneficial scheme that has come for that, especially for the EWS LIG segment.
Right, sir. Good afternoon. This is Vinny joining in the conversation as well. You've given a full roundup of everything that's happened. And one point that you highlighted was PMAY. And that's what I want to pick up on, right? As compared to other NBFCs, your performance surely in Q1 has been quite good. We're seeing strong performance. But what much can you expect here? How much better can we expect the company to do from here on? And in terms of more of the trends from the PMAY front?
Okay, thank you, Vinny. Yes, from a pure guidance perspective, I think we will, the way we look at our business, we should be growing about 22-23% on AUM year-on-year basis. On disbursement, we should be looking at about 18 to 20% growth. And on profits, we should be looking anywhere upward of 25% growth. Our NIMs are very, very stable at about upward of 8.5. This quarter in question, we posted a NIM of about 8.9. So that's first part of your question. The second part is, how does PMAY impact us? See, in the previous avatar of PMAY 1.0, Aadhar Housing Finance disbursed or a total subsidy or assisted a total subsidy of about 1,800 crores, which impacted about 82,000 customers. So 45% of my book were eligible for PMAY, and they got that subsidy. Similar trends should be visible while we see a little downward trend on the total subsidy being lent out. For example, in the previous avatar, it was 2.6, close to about 2.6 lakhs. Now it has come down to 1.8 lakhs. But the interesting thing, Vinny, on the PMAY this time, which is very, very interesting, I think this was also because of the various submissions that our industry went and did to the finance ministry, was one is it is split over 5 years. So if a consumer gets 1.8 lakh approved, it is going to be 36,000 rupees of subsidy direct credit to his account. So it is not going to be routed through a housing finance company. The pain to the housing finance company, we act as intermediaries. So if I get 1,800 crores of subsidy coming in on my books, my AUM reduces by 1,800 crores. So with this move of direct credit to the consumer, there is no impact on my AUM. That is one. Since it is also split in 5 years, the probability of delinquency goes down. So we should see a positive trend on delinquency, because a consumer who is delinquent will not get the subsidy. Second is the proportion of BT out on such consumers will also go out, because if he's enrolled through me and he has to take the subsidy for 5 years, the consumer will not tend to do a BT out. So there are multiple benefits of the PMAY 2.0 that we see.
Rishi, before we let you go, just want to understand from a shareholder point of view, which have just got into your company. You have indicated to us in the past, and I mean your numbers are speaking for themselves, that 25-30% kind of growth is where you would like to maintain on a sustainable basis. But how much runway of growth does it come from PMAY, the 10 crore houses? What I want to understand is that you are already present in 22 states. Now, which are the states which will drive this growth for you, and are you have enough visibility, order visibility in the system for next 4-5 years?
So Ajay, the way it is working for us is, one is we are in 21 states, we are not in 22. The last state that we opened was only this quarter after 2018, which was Himachal Pradesh. And as we see, there is no more state for us to expand. As a strategy, what we are doing is, and if you remember last time also I spoke to you, that we have picked up in phase 1 5 states, illustratively Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and so on and so forth. And we have started going deep. When we say, and that's a strategy we call as deeper impact, we have started picking up small talukas, small district centers, and started opening and reaching out to consumers. And I want to call it out here that deeper impact does not mean rural. We are definitely not going to rural. Now, from a future 3-year, 5-year perspective, I think deeper impact strategy is going to play a very important role in our overall growth. The way we are looking at it, 75 branches we are going to be launching year-on-year basis as we go ahead. 25 branches will come in tier 1, tier 2, and about 50 branches will come in the deeper impact strategy. Once we kind of reach out in these 5 states to all deeper impact possible locations, we will pick the set of next 5 or 7 states. Now, the first part of your question was relating to PMAY. So for that, you will have to understand how the PMAY used to work earlier. See, PMAY works on a concept of refinance. It is not a finance to buy a house. It is that you have done the transaction, you have taken the loan, and that's when people like us, intermediaries like housing finance companies, would pull out the data, give it to the regulator. The regulator will either, based on various parameters, approve or disapprove. So it's a refinance model. Does the consumer start taking properties because he's getting PMAY? I would not say completely yes or no. There are consumers who are on the fence, who are short of, let's say, close to about 2 lakh rupees in taking a decision to buying the house. For them, for people on the fence, they move on the positive side. Ultimately, end of the day, it is, since as I told you, it is a refinance model. Will a huge upside come on my incremental business? No, it will not. But anywhere between, given my past track record, as I told you, about 1,800 crores of subsidy, so it's going to be an upside of about close to about 5%.
Right, Mr. Anand, thank you so much for joining in with us this afternoon on ET Now. It's always a pleasure having a chat with you. That was the management of Aadhar Housing Finance joining in with us to talk about numbers, much more in terms of also what's happening in the world of NBFCs.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.